To understand my stance on this game before we even get into it, you gotta understand where Alien Force was at the time. After the first 2 seasons of Ben 10 Alien Force, toy sales were unfortunately down because a show aimed at teenagers and adults isn't going to sell as many toys as a show aimed at kids. And Cartoon Network wanted to do something about this, so what did they do? They cancelled the original pitch Season 3 that had already been approved. They said, nah, fuck you, go make it more like the original series. Which just flopped hard, because Ben's personality went to more childish and egotistical with no excuse other than, he just got really popular again after saving the world. And there wasn't any kind of time skip this time unlike the first 2 seasons of Alien Force. So, there's no real excuse for such a drastic personality shift. With the demand that the show had to be close to the original, it meant they also had to bring back older villains, such as Charmcaster, Hex, and Vilgax. Oh boy, what did they do to Vilgax. Just like in Season 1 and 2, Season 3 actually got 2 games. Rise of Hex, which I can't play because the game got delisted too long ago for me to even get anymore, and I can't emulate it well. And then the focus of this video, Vilgax Attacks. So let's start with that story. The story begins with Vilgax invading Earth, using a null void projector to unleash its many creatures onto Earth. Seeing no other option, Ben immediately decides to use Alien X, something he would never do in the show because he doesn't like Alien X until Omniverse. But he's told from Professor Paradox that now is not the time. So the trio split up to go all over Bellwood to try and stop the different enemies invading. However, after a fight with Siphon, Ben and the trio learn that it's just too late to stop the Earth from being invaded. And even worse is that the Omnitrix has to take time to reboot, which is just fantastic because now he only has 5 of the 10 aliens. Paradox flings the trio into the past, giving them a mission to go across the universe to stop Vilgax from getting the energy calls, which look like the sub-energy. Actually though, this mission was given to them by Max Tennyson as he's been gone for a while, taking in more inspiration from Alien Force Season 1 and 2. Now the idea for this story I absolutely love. It's that perfect blend of Alien Force's more involved story, while having Protector of Earth's more comedic story as well as not needing to be as involved. And hey, I wish this is what they went with for Season 3 of Alien Force. That's what I'm doing for Season 3 of Gwen 10 Alien Force. If you don't know that, I'll leave a link in the description for my fanfiction, but we'll get right onto that later. For now, in the game we get to explore the home planets of Wildmutt, Humongousaur, Brainstorm, Ghostfreak, and Chromastone. Although Chromastone is like a little kind of because he's actually Diamond Head Jesus, which I never liked, but whatever. The only issue with this game's writing that I could honestly say is that they consistently come up with reasons to get Gwen and Kevin out of the plot. Whether that be through them staying behind to fight Vilgax, getting split up during a transportation to Anophatos, or splitting up while on Earth. And while Gwen does things in this plot, since she's able to actually fight, use her mana, and do some tracking, Kevin doesn't do anything. He throws one punch and never absorbs any material. I mean, I guess it's an upgrade from being the thing that brought down the last game, but I still wish he did something. Another issue is that a ton of Ben's villains now cross different planets in the universe, such as Charmcaster Cerdino, or Darkstar Brainstorm's own planet. But if we're going to get into that, we might as well get into the gameplay. The gameplay now has a major shake-up, as instead of having the camera follow you on a track through linear movement through the game, mostly left to right, this game is much more open. While it is an open world like Power Trip, and the levels are still linear, the new camera style adds a new layer for the combat and the focus on puzzles. And this change to the game design was made because you can play as all 10 aliens and each of them have a unique ability that helps more in puzzle solving than in combat. And those aliens are Spider Monkey, who is agile and can swing from specific points, as well as being able to climb along pipes. Humongousaur is big, strong, and slow. However, he is a tank, and if you're ever stuck, it's a good idea to just punch everything as Humongousaur. That usually does the trick. Big Chill can freeze his enemies and glide using air gusts to glide himself up to higher platforms. So we've got Swarm Fire, who can use his fireballs to blow up anything covered in methane. We got Goop, who can wall jump across specific walls and can attack with his acid. And we have Brainstorm, who can hack into my IP address and find out where I live for saying nobody likes him, because nobody likes him. You try, you don't. We then have Echo, who can clone himself to solve puzzles and use sonic screeches to shatter the crystals of Morotesi. Next up is Chromastone, who can use his lasers to charge up machines, and Jetray, who can do a Big Chill but better, because Big Chill's glide descends more but you get much greater control than Jetray's, who goes farther. Now that's 9 aliens, and the last alien is different across both versions of the game, and I'll get into that last alien later, but For the HD version, which is the version I'm playing, it's Cannonbolt, who can go across ramps and go flying. However, is the presentation good in this game? Because if it's not, we could be seeing an Alien Force situation again. So let's get right into that. First time in Ben 10 history, a game is finally on the HD system! Although Vilgax Attacks did come out for the previous systems as Protector of Earth and Alien Force did being the PSP, the Wii, and PS2, Vilgax Attacks is now on the Xbox 360. Not the PS3 though, because, I'm willing to excuse that PS3 was a bitch to work with, and I can imagine on this tight of a budget, PS3 version wasn't always in the cards. However, everything in this game looks amazing, like they're actually using the 360 to its fullest. The lighting is great, the textures on the models are great, the models themselves are pretty good. Overall, it's pretty good, and has a lot more detail than previous games. However, something I will admit is that the music isn't as great as Protector of Earth, but it's better than the absolute nothing of Alien Force the game, so I can go either way. Now, the environments aren't something I've talked about much in the previous reviews, but I gotta say, in this game, the environments look absolutely stunning. Like, just take a look at Moro Tessie here with its crystalline structures, or Terradino with its luscious grass and temples. Or hell, even look at Brainstorm's home planet, which I still can't pronounce for the life of me. It's so dark and gloomy and just filled with lightning. I love it. Other than Walnut's home planet, which feels weird to call the home planet of Volpomancer, I can imagine these would be the actual world of the aliens in the show. Even the ones that got retconned later on, like Chromastone. But with that, we should probably talk about the console differences and what I meant by the 10th aliens different across both versions. Now, unlike Alien Force the game, this game doesn't have as many differences as the console versions. The DS version doesn't have Anophaetos, which is completely exclusive to the consoles, but I'm okay with that because that level was already pretty short. Well, I said earlier the Cannonbolt was in the HD version and the console version, and that is true. On DS, you get Upchuck again. God, what do consoles have against Upchuck anyway? Upchuck isn't just a screen nuke this time. He's able to eat different kind of energy projectiles and spit them out. And there is another exclusive alien. It isn't technically an alien. This is the giant Mr. Smoothie boss from the beginning of the game that is unlocked by beating the boss on the highest difficulty. Why weren't HD fans given this? I need a DS capture card and I need it today. But that's about it on the console differences, so is this a good game? Overall, this is a good game. I can't say it's perfect, as the combat feels a little repetitive since all of the aliens do feel the same outside of a few little differences. But from its well-designed levels and the puzzles, and the fact it uses all of Ben 10's 10 aliens, which shouldn't have taken us 3 games to get to, I'd say this is my favourite Ben 10 game so far. And we're not done yet, because up next is the game based on the sequel series to Alien Force, Ultimate Alien. Now this series got 2 games, Cosmic Destruction and Galactic Racing. But after Cosmic Destruction, I'm going to be taking a little break from Ben 10, but we'll get into that there. But until then, take care. Bye!